English actually is a people have phobia of English, have great fear of English. But whereas I believe that learning English is not a fight at all. Learning English is a sheer fun. This is my conclusion, and this is my faith also. And I do teach English in that manner. But can you now, for example, you have helped so many people. When I was looking at your channel, I found out that probably you have about 1 lakh of followers up to now. So, Mohan sir, which method precisely do you use to help people develop their English communication skill? Would you tell me what do you do? Have you some kind of recipe, some formula that you tell them and they work on it and they start speaking English? What do you do to just solve this problem for the people?
Okay, thank you, sir, for asking me the method of teaching. In fact, I don't have any method of teaching. First of all, I would like to tell you one thing, that I am not a teacher of English and I am not a scholar of English. Even I don't have any qualification in special qualification in English. My qualification is only BCom. And I was working in a bank. I was unable to speak English during my whole service. I retired at the age of 60. Only after my retirement, I joined one spoken English institute and I learned English. Till that time, I was absolutely unable to speak English. I developed my English after my retirement. That means at the age of 60. And
Wonderful.
now I am 66 years old. And my method is a special method. That means I will never teach English. Instead of teaching English, I am asking people to talk English. Even if we start with broken English, we have to speak English. From broken English, we can come to spoken English. That is my slogan.
Wonderful, wonderful. Good.
Yes.
Good.
So when a new member is coming to learn English, I will just talk with that new member. Even if that new member is talking broken English or butler's English or Manglish or whatever it may be, I will never discourage. Instead of that, I will encourage them to speak broken English. By speaking broken English, they will develop confidence. After developing confidence, slowly, I will make grammar corrections. Then only I will ask them to learn grammar. Nowadays, for learning grammar, several methods are available, especially in the area of online, in YouTube, in Google, and in many other online platforms. Huge amount of grammar classes are available. So they can go through these online grammar classes and they can learn themselves about English grammar. But I will tell them to learn grammar as a second option only. First option is to speak broken English and to develop confidence to speak broken English. Later, they will learn English. Finally, they will speak good English. This is my method.
Good. See, like you tell me that you yourself, when you plan to master this skill, you joined some institution in your area. You learned yourself from some institute. This is what you tell me, that when you decided that you are going to now master English, then you joined some institute probably. This is what you told me. And see, what did those people do to you? See, what kind of training they gave to you when you see, did they use any kind of? Did they teach you a lot of grammar, or what did they do to you? Those people who taught you communication skill, what did they do?
Okay, sir. This is a very interesting question. When I joined that spoken English in Kochi, they were using one projector. Through that projector, they were showing some sentence constructions and grammar lessons like is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, do, does, did, and several other helping verbs, auxiliary verbs. And they were teaching grammar only. Then I requested the teacher to stop teaching grammar. Instead of that, I requested him to speak with me. Then I requested them to stop that projector. After
Mhm.
that, they have never opened that projector. Instead of
Mhm.
teaching grammar, I
Mhm.
requested them to speak in English with me. And they
Mhm.
asked what subject we will speak. Then I
Mhm.
requested them to, we can speak about our
Mhm.
Cochin city. We can speak
Mhm.
about our family. We can speak
Mhm.
about this universe. Several
Mhm.
subjects we can talk.
Yes, 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 yes,
Instead
yes.
of teaching grammar, and instead of learning grammar, I requested
Mhm.
them, I requested the teacher to
Mhm.
talk with me. Only through
Mhm.
talking we can develop a fluency in English. That is
Mhm.
my strong belief, because we have
Mhm.
studied in schools. From schools we have
Mhm.
got a basic idea. With that
Mhm.
basic idea we have to start talking with other people. And
Yes,
what
yes.
I did, I collected
Mhm.
several friends for
Mhm.
talking English. With the help of my
Mhm.
friends also, I started speaking English. This
Yes,
was the
yes. Good,
method
good.
through which I developed my fluency in English.
Good. So now, Mohan sir, let me tell you what I do to help the learners probably master this skill very easily. Now, you told me that you just involve your followers in kind of conversations. Even they start with broken English, and then you never discourage them. But gradually, you then yourself probably correct a few of their grammatical mistakes, and then you ask them to probably take up some kind of grammar uh, training from the online programs. This is what you tell me. Okay, this you tell those people okay, for better understanding of grammar, they should use the kind of online programs that are available. Now, what I can do is that see, I also because I have been teaching for the last 50 years now, and my I have concluded that English, like you feel, doesn't need any kind of rigorous training. Now, my model for my learners is always a baby born to any language group. See, any baby born to any language group without any formal training, without any rigorous kind of see work, that child naturally, normally, very, very easily, he becomes a wonderful communicator in 4 years, a baby. So I tell my learners to just think what has happened to that child. Two things have happened to that child. The first thing is that the child is daily acquiring a very good vocabulary actually. It is happening to him. For example, suppose, think of a baby born to English speaking parents. So, in his own environment, that baby every day he is acquiring language. Language is happening to him. So, one thing that I tell my learners is that you are to make language happen to yourself, and for that, you have to plug into some source of language. And what is that source of language? I use two things for them. One, very small short stories, online stories. For example, I begin with fables and parables. And fables and parables can be read in 20 minutes. And I ask them that before they go to sleep, they should read a fable. They should enjoy the message. They should enjoy the story. And then they should try to acquire new interesting words. So this is one thing I do for them. And I tell them that this is the 70% of your kind of solution to your problem. Anyone who wants to speak English with the facility, felicity, and that fluency, that person, first of all, must work on words, and words should be picked up in such a way that is an entertaining way. So, short stories. I give them those short stories also. For example, Aesop's fables. You are you are aware of a old author Aesop, Aesop. So he has written fables. So I recommend that book to them, and then these days I tell them that or there is a program, again online program, can learn English through stories, level 1, level 2, level 3, and those are narrated stories. So one thing that I do is that I connect my learner to those stories. Either they read a small story or they listen to a small story, and they enjoy the idea and they keep on building their vocabulary. Now come to the second idea. For the grammar is a challenge, and I have seen all the kind of programs that you're talking about that are available online. So the way I teach people how to make sentences now, it is a grammar in the background. I call it grammar in the background method. I do not discuss any grammar with my learners. But I tell them, of course, grammar is there. As a teacher, I know also what is grammar. I list all the grammar for them. For example, I tell them, okay, grammar actually means number one, tense. Number two, active passive voice. Number three, narration. Number four, parts of speech, determiners, qualifiers, and then phrases, and then non finite verbs, and then clauses, and then modals. I know the whole grammar. But would you believe me that I do not discuss this grammar at all with them? I connect them to another wonderful idea. And this is the idea that I want to share with you. Anybody who wants to master English grammar without discussing grammar, that person can follow my idea. And what is that idea? The idea is, Mohan sir, I have found out that throughout your life, this is the foundational idea in my system. Throughout your life, you never speak more than 8 structurally different sentences. See what I'm telling you. See, with all confidence, I'm telling you that any speaker in any language throughout his life never speaks more than 8 structurally different sentences. There are only 8 sentences. And those 8 sentences, you learn them how to say them in English. That's all. So I never take them into complications of grammar. I tell them, look here, these are the 8 structures. I have categorized them, those structures for them. So these are the structures, and these are the verb patterns. Say them. That's all. So and believe me, the whole grammar is automatically covered. See, when they start speaking English, then they find out that their tense is covered, their active passive is covered without them working consciously or laboriously on these topics. Sir, this is my system. That, for example, you have such a vast experience now, spread over many years, last 6 or 7 years. Uh, Jose Mohan sir, you can try. You speak out any sentence that comes to your mind, and I will tell you that it only belongs to a small set of 8 sentences. That's all. You can try to speak out any sentence. So now look here. Let me share with you also. Okay, what are those 8 categories of sentences? I have given them the names. For example, the first category is the category of things sentences. Things sentences. Things means that you are only describing objects. You are not talking about any activity. You are only describing objects. For example, like you were telling me ke was, were, is, am, are, or shall, will be. So actually, this is the category of things sentences. You are describing objects. Number one. So our first category is things category, and second category is possession category. Possession, the idea of owning something. So when I say that he was a teacher, I'm describing, this is the things category. And when I say that he had many books, this is the possession category. And then the third, fourth, fifth are the three main activities. For example, the third is the simple activity. Simple activity means where you are simply sharing things with the people. I woke up in the morning, I went for a walk, I sat in the park, and then I took some exercise, then I got back home. This is simple activity in the past, and it can be in the present also. I wake up in the morning, go for a walk, spend time over there, get back home. This is simple. When you are simply sharing things with your people, it is called simple activity. Now, next is continuing activity. You are talking about the activity that was going on. So, for example, we met and soon we were talking, we are discussing things, and very soon we started debating, and then we started quarreling with one another. So this is called continuing activity. And there are verb patterns, of course. Achha, then next is fifth is called perfect activity, the activity that was over in a given point at a given point of time. For example, I'll say you, okay, up to now we have already talked for 10 minutes. We have already talked for 10 minutes, and you have already a large number of you have collected a large number of admirers around you. So this is perfect activity. Now see, these are my categories: things, possession, then simple, then continuing, then perfect. And now the sixth and seventh activity, they are very important because they are never taught in grammar. You are telling me about the grammar programs available online. You yourself can check that the sixth and seventh sentence that I'm now talking about, No English grammar program teaches those two sentences. And what are those two sentences? In my system, the sixth structure is called intention sentences. Intention. The things that you have to do. For example, uh, uh, tomorrow I'm to wake up in the morning. Then I'm to catch a bus. Then I'm to go to Ludhiana. I'm to attend a conference over there, and then I'm to get back in the evening. This is intention present. And all the grammar programs that are available online, they never teach this. They never teach intention sentences. In my system, it is present on day one. This is the sixth category. And then seventh category, Mohan sir, it is compulsion sentences, compulsion. Those things that you cannot avoid doing. For example, I have to wake up in the morning. I have to take bath in cold water. Then I have to cycle up to my workplace. Then I have to work very hard over there. So these are called compulsion sentences. Sixth and seventh category. And then eighth and final category is modals. Modals, this is a very mispronounced word. English speaking people call them modals or modals or sometimes models. All these three pronunciation, modal or model, these are wrong pronunciations. The word is modal. Modal means mood verb. And you know that it is a small set. For example, shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, must, and ought to. So these are modals. They are called modals because they are mood verb. They add mood to a statement. When I say that I'm a teacher, it is a simple statement. But when I say that I can teach you very easily, then I have added a little bit of my mood to the statement. So that is why they are called modals. Now I am now winding up the whole kind of statement about my system. My system is of teaching grammar is sir like this. Without discussing grammar, it teaches more than grammar. For example, by telling my learners to start mastering these categories. So things, then possession, then simple, continuing, perfect, intention, compulsion, and modals. So this is what I do. And once my learners start speaking sentences like this, their tense is already covered. More than tense is covered, as I've told you, that intention and compulsion sentences are never discussed in any grammar program. You can check it. You can check up online programs. They are not discussed there. In my system, they are there on day one. And then there are a few. Now, once my learners start speaking these eight sentences, 70% of their English speaking skill is completed. And then of course, there are few more things that I tell them. For example, I tell them about passive structures. I tell them about certain kinds of sentences, structural division and tonal division of sentences. And that's all. And narration, for example, that narration is covered when they start practicing actually spoken English. Narration is automatically covered. So sir, this is my system. This is what I wish to share with you. Now you from your own experience can just let me know what do you think about it. Or before that, for example, I would also request you to think of any sentence that comes to your mind. Think of any sentence that comes to your mind, and you will find that sentence falling into these eight categories. This is what I wanted to share with you. Now your response.
Okay. Okay, Nirmal sir, excellent. Your method, the eight categories of sentence
Thank you.
method is an
Thank you.
excellent method. I congratulate you for forming
Thank you.
this
Thank you.
method. And this is an easy method also. This will be useful for beginners and newcomers to learn English. There is no doubt. Okay. Sir, I have a
But
question. Only by learning these
hmm,
eight sentence models, how can a newcomer make fluency in English? In my opinion,
sir,
if we want to make fluency in English, we have to give them more chance to speak with other people. So, are you
yes,
providing
I
this?
yes. No, yes, I do it, sir. No, no Jose Mohan, sir, what you are doing, it is a it is very important. Now look here, even if a person, for example, like I told, what I have shared with you, I have only shared with you this idea ki how we can very easily and without any labor in an interesting manner we can solve a complicated problem of grammar. This is what I shared with you. But you are right, unless those learners now, yes, I now spoken English or talking to one another is a part of my training. For see, my learners, they always work in small groups. For example, they work in groups. So and in my classes, once they grasp this idea, okay, look here, there are only 8 sentences. We have to speak only 8 sentences, and this is how we can speak them. Then I do not waste any time on any other kind of grammar. I involve them in actually speaking. I so then I tell them, like you told me that there are nth number of situations that you can talk about. You told your trainers that there are so many topics. Talk to me on those topics. So this is what I do. I ask my learners now to start any situation that come to in their mind, to start saying them in English. This spoken part that you are doing, it is the culmination of the whole effort actually. You were asking me, what is the role of kind of conversation and spoken? See, what is the importance of speaking, actually speaking practice for a learner? This is what you were asking me. Okay, what is the importance of kind of talking to people and using this language to further master this kind of skill? And I agree. I told you that I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I use the word culmination. See, when you start talking to the other people in this language, that is the climax of whatever you are doing, whatever you are trying to achieve. That is the climax of the whole effort. For example, yes. So people must, and I was telling you again, in my classes, spoken English dominates every other thing. Well, first of all, I now what do I do? Uh, normally in spoken English programs, there is a lot of mugging also, lot of grammar and lot of mugging also. I have just eliminated all that. I simply do two simple things for my learners. Number one, my learners are to start acquiring words in an interesting manner every day by reading small stories, by listening to small stories. And then they are to only master 8 sentences, to master the whole grammar. And then daily, then they are to talk to each other. Like I was telling you, that my learners always work in small groups. So whatever comes to their mind, for example, whatever comes to their mind, any situation, I ask them to say it in English, because there are only 8 sentences, and there is only a limited number of words that they need to do. Josmon sir, I don't know whether it came to your notice or not. As a teacher, very responsibly, I tell you that only 2,000 words are needed. See, to speak English successfully all over the world, you need to learn only 2,000 words. So these two things, my learners, they start working on words, number one, and number two, they know that they are to master only 8 structures. This is solving their problem. A lot of burden is taken off their shoulders when I tell them these two things. And then actually they speak and speak and speak like you are doing it with the people. So only then they acquire that final confidence. But when my learners started speaking English, they cover those stages of broken English are already covered for them. They start probably right from the very beginning, then speaking right English, and then going on probably learning it at a fast pace. So this is what I do for them.
Okay, sir, excellent. Your method is good. And my question is, how you are giving your students chance to speak, where they will go and with whom they will speak.
See, they in my group, sir. Like I've told you already that in my learners always work in small groups, 3 4 people. They work together always. For example, see, up to I have see Josmon sir. Up to now, I have not involved journal people in my own YouTube channel. It started only last September. See, before that, see, I have in fact I have a book. That book is actually it is in Hindi or Punjabi, because my program, the name of my program is Vernacular Bridge Course to Learn English. This is the name of my program, sir. Vernacular Bridge Course to Learn English. See, what is this program? On the one hand, there are 8 vernacular structures, and then there are verb patterns. We are to bridge the gap. So on this idea, I have a book, and this book is available on Amazon. It is in Hindi also. It is in Punjabi also. But I know that in your area, Hindi and Punjabi are of no use. But in northern India, So that book is available in Hindi version and in, so one is to only Google. See, suppose you Google search vernacular bridge course to learn English, you will find my book over there on the Amazon. So this is what my learners use by way of practice. And then now my this idea of now bringing it online, it is a very recent idea. Jo sir, I started only last September. My YouTube channel is also vernacular bridge course to learn English. Suppose anybody goes to YouTube and he searches vernacular bridge course to learn English, then my videos appear over there. My videos are there that I have done in Hindi or Punjabi, of course, not in English, all of them, because that was for North Indian kind of audience. So, but I tell you that when I am working in a group, in my group, suppose I'm doing a program online. So see, this is what I do. I make my learners work in small groups so that they can talk to one another, like you are making them talk to one another. Now, this is what I do. But you can tell me if there, now, for example, like you have been doing this work for a lot of time. See, yes, when you are talking one to one, that is a different story. So you have one learner and he has called you and you give that learner some kind of speaking practice. So so you just let me know how we can do things better by using my system to solve the grammar problem. How can we do it? You can make some suggestions, sir.
Okay, sir. In my opinion, we can
Yeah.
open a special WhatsApp group. In that WhatsApp group, we can add members from all over the world, or from all states in India, and
Good,
we can allow all people to come to that group. So they
good,
will
sir.
get a chance to interact with the people from other states and
Hmm.
people from other countries also. So they will
Good,
get more
wonderful.
vocabulary and they will
Ah,
get more knowledge about
hmm,
English. So
hmm.
we can
Good.
open a special WhatsApp group for this purpose. That is my idea.
Okay, sir, I approve of it. I'm there. I'm there as your junior partner. You being, yeah. Look here. You are now. I told you that I started my YouTube channel only recently, but you are a veteran in the field and you have a following also. So that is why I tell you that I shall be your junior partner, assisting you or aiding your effort to help people learn English in a better way and easier way. I will help you. I'm there, sir. Do include me in that group.
Yes, sir. Okay. We can invite more people into our WhatsApp group and we can
Yes,
help them. We can
yes,
ask them to interact with all people from all states in India and even
hmm.
from people from other countries also.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Anybody is welcome. And any question on grammar. See, if anybody has any problem, see of grammar, we can help that person resolve that problem in a very simple way. In a very simple way.
Okay, nice. Okay, sir. I think now it is high time to conclude this talk. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
I
Thank you
hope,
very much. Mhm.
okay, I hope
Ah,
we will come in another video and we will discuss more points about how to learn English and how to share knowledge about English. We can talk in the coming video. Okay.
Yes, yes, Josmon sir, I'm there always. Matlab, see, not you know what is my goal? What is my purpose? Being a teacher, I am working so actively in this area with this idea because I want that there should be syllabic changes. Not English in all over India. English is taught in a very difficult, old, probably decades old kind of way. See, there is a way. See, so as a teacher, I am working for a change. Okay, those board syllabuses should be radically changed. English should be made an interesting subject to learn, a fun, not a fight. So this is my goal, and I'm there, sir. So you make the plans, and wherever I'm required, I'm at your beck and call, and I hope that we can do probably some good to the people working together. And for me, it was an honor. It was a joy talking to you. And as I told you that you do probably you post this video on your channel and send me the link, then I'll watch it, sir, and then we are in touch again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Shall we conclude this video?
Yes, we conclude it now, sir. Thank you very much. God bless you. Good night.